Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 90 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. As we begin a new year, we often evaluate what we want to have more or less of in our lives, and it's a great time to reflect on who we want to be and set some concrete goals for ourselves. It can be challenging, however, to see what is possible to actually achieve and change in your life without some guidance. If we already knew what to do and how to do it, wouldn't we already have done it? And we also might feel so stuck at times that we don't want to dive into examining what's next. So in today's episode, I'll give you some landmarks to help you get started on ideas to how you can create a fulfilling life without feeling overwhelmed. So let's define what fulfillment means before we get started. I think many of us may think of fulfillment as something that is arbitrary, hard to achieve, something similar to maybe enlightenment or nirvana. However, I'm going to challenge you to see this as actually something so achievable that we no longer have an excuse not to live a fulfilling life. And fulfillment means the achievement of something desired, predicted, or promised, as defined by the Oxford Dictionary. Yet the word fulfilling in the Oxford Dictionary means to make someone satisfied or happy because of fully developing their character or abilities. And when we think of a fulfilling life or career, we think of whether or not we've fully developed ourselves. And this is why goals and intentions matter. Not in the way that some New Year's resolutions are defined, which are often a reaction to what is a known behavior in the previous few months, such as I'll eat better in the new year. Goals and intentions matter because we set them to ask of ourselves if we are fully developing our character or abilities. So creating a fulfilling life then isn't an exercise in something that is entirely undefined. It is asking you what kind of person you want to be and have the ability to be and living into that person. So how do we do that? There are 3 steps and an exercise that you can complete. And I'll start with step 1, reviewing this past year for highlights. So how do you know what character abilities we want to live into? One of the first steps is to look for clues for what lights us up. And many of us have created new careers and these new lives and have had so many changes that we forget who we are and what we love. So we look back into this past year, we evaluate the highlights. I literally write down all the things that occurred that were moments of great happiness or joy or excitement or even just pride from accomplishments. I also write down moments and situations that created stress or worry or less positive emotions in my life. And I won't just leave it there. I'll ask myself what I've learned from these experiences. And usually that's what the highlight is. It's that moment of learning or growth from a challenge. Maybe it's a habit you no longer want to have in your life. So habits and highlights aren't just things you experience like a trip. They can be learnings you've had about yourself, your family, or other people. And while these may be harder to capture in a photo or to share with other people, these can also be just as important as the places that you've been or the things that you've acquired. And sometimes some of these things are so challenging that we have a hard time articulating them. And so this is a moment for us to not gloss over or avoid the challenging moments in our life, but to actually look at those as well. And if you have a hard time remembering, you can go chronologically through your calendar week by week or month by month to remember what's occurred. You can actually look in your photos also to see what's happening each month that you might have missed or forgot. You can also think back through bigger conversations or moments of connection that happened with the important people in your life. All right, so now that you have that first step done, we move to step 2. We observe themes. And what do we do now with all of these highlights? We observe the themes. We ask ourselves, what patterns or themes did we notice across these highlights? And I've noticed that what it comes back to for me is this idea of people. We spend so much time doing things on a to do list and checking off boxes, and we forget that some of our most important memories are the things that aren't on the to do list. It's a sense of relaxation, of love, of playfulness, of fun, of connection that isn't something to do, it's something for us to be. And I love that about these themes. And we notice, for example, the reason travel's on our list is because we experience adventure, relaxation. We notice that we are proud of specific professional accomplishments because it means something. Like we're finally stepping into a different part of ourselves or our abilities. And these are fulfilling because they expand our sense of self and identity, and they show us that we are more than what we do. They show us that we are more than what we have done. And so, step 3, the next step, is to actually take all these learnings and themes to the next level and brainstorm goals that develop your character and abilities. We create some ideas of what we want to accomplish in the next year. Maybe we really enjoyed our new healthy habits, and we think, I'd like to extend this into this coming year with another set of goals, whether it's about consistency or improving the quality of our habits, right? This comes at the notion of thinking about what is our ability to live into ourselves in this new and healthier way. And this is really helpful when you have another person to bounce ideas off of or a thought partner to help expand your thinking. This is why I do this exercise with clients and with my own coach, because it helps to really expand our thinking and challenge ourselves in terms of our own thinking to say, well, what more different or what way have I not expanded myself yet that could be that next edge? And I also like to see them in my calendar. If it's possible, I'll schedule as many of these things into the year ahead of time so they're essentially done. And it's amazing how we can create a new year that we are already looking forward to by doing these simple things. And I love this process because it's easy to see what the year ahead looks like when you're intentional about what creates fulfillment in your life. And you've done that because you looked back into the past year and you've identified what was meaningful for you, whether it was positive or negative or challenging emotions that have occurred. And so some of us resist setting goals either in the past or in this current moment because we don't want to set ourselves up for failure. But whether or not we state our goals out loud, we still have goals. And they may be accidental goals that haven't been questioned, ones that have been put upon you, or ones that you've just kind of fell into, or they may be silent goals that we haven't articulated, but they exist all the same. Many times people are unsure of what they're doing now and what they want to achieve next, and this is completely normal. But even with no goal, there is a goal, and that might be to maintain the status quo. So no matter where you are on this goal spectrum, whether you are thinking, well, my goal is to come up with goals, or my goal is to achieve these very specific goals that I've defined already, this exercise I shared isn't about setting New Year's resolutions that are occurring in the month of January only. It's about creating time and space to really think about what creates meaning in our lives. It's about understanding ourselves a bit more deeply so we know what kind of character we want to build and what our abilities even are. And I remember the first time I did this exercise, I was actually visiting my husband's family in Canada during the Christmas holidays, which I'm doing right now. And I had a lot of changes that were occurring for me career wise. I felt like I was no longer in a place where I want to do what I was doing professionally. I was shifting all this internal structure in my own life in terms of the way I wanted to live and balance my work and my personal life. And I was contemplating quitting or making a shift. There were just so many options and choices at that time. And this exercise really helped me set the roadmap to what was a more fulfilling and meaningful life. And all areas of my life improved. And since then, I realized that this was one of the catalysts for making that kind of improvement to my quality of life. So take an hour out of your day and do this exercise. You can even do it with family or friends. You can do this with your team professionally as well to really set the stage for what you want to accomplish in this coming year. Either way, it brings us back to focusing on what's most important, which is creating a personal and professional life that we're proud of and that we enjoy, and one that is based on your own definition of success and appreciating big and small moments every single day. So I'm wishing you all a beautiful start to your new year. Let me know how this exercise works for you and what it sparks. I am so excited to start this new year with you, no matter what has transpired. So I love you, my friends. I will talk to you again next week. And until then, have a good one. So my question for you is, what do you want to achieve? No matter what success means to you, coaching will help you get there faster and more sustainably. We work towards results in every area of your life: time management, spending time on what's most important, creating a mix of work and personal life that is sustainable. We work on career and business, deciding what you want next and how to achieve it, whether there's more flexibility, purpose, leadership, or deciding to start your own business. Energy management. We work on improving your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health so you build confidence in designing your own life. If you've got some changes you want support in thinking through, book your free consultation at www.mayemson.com/contact today. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.